I grew up in a household that gives me perhaps a distorted idea of the role women play in our society. My mother was a breadwinner type, very strong-willed person. She put herself through school with 5 kids at home, worked at a big company. She dealt with all of her household problems. She was a very in-charge type of person. Since I was a child, I have never thought of a woman as inferior in any regard, and when things needed to get done, I generally depended on my mom to follow through. Because of that, the stereotypes about women have never resonated with me. It baffles me the devaluation this society gives to human resources based on sex. I grew up in a racially mixed neighborhood. On my block there was a black kid, and I spent a lot of time over at his house. We played Nintendo and basketball in his backyard. His dad had his own lawn mowing business, and he taught me how to play chess. His mom worked at the hospital and always came home so exhausted. They took pride in everything they did. My personal idea from experiences of what a black family is simply doesn't ring true with all the stereotypes that I hear. Again, it baffles me the devaluation that society gives to human resources, this time based on race. When I first entered this class, my initial frame of mind was that I thought I was at least well versed in being self-aware when it comes to topics such as racism and sexism. And while that's true, I have found through the readings and videos that I have just been scratching the surface of the problems dealing with culture, pluralism. In Colorblind or Color Brave, Melody Hobson explains that she was a CEO of an investment company, and yet she was mistaken for kitchen help. As a white male, I really can't imagine a scenario where this might accidentally even happen to me. The simple but whoa moment was realizing that if this can happen to a CEO at a board meeting, then everyday life must be an uphill battle for a lot of people simply based on race. The documentary True Colors, Racial Discrimination in Everyday Life kind of reinforces that idea that the mundane life experience is full of disadvantages, or advantages depending on who you are. Another change to the frame of mind as evidence of change is from A Class Divided with Jane Elliott. It was an alarming idea that people can be so easily manipulated. The major realization is that the kids are taught racism and sexism at home every day in real life, but at the end of the day, there isn't a teacher telling them that it's just some experiment. They're simply taught to hate, and it continues in an endless cycle. The biggest idea that caught me off guard, and is definitely a candidate for evidence of my change of mind, is Mira and David Sadker's research about the 4 types of responses teachers give. They are positive feedback, encourage you to correct or expand, state the correct answer, or just acknowledge that the student had actually responded. And this was confirmed by Good and Brophy. Females are most likely just to get an acknowledgement that they responded. This idea seems upsetting to me. I think I would have probably done the same thing had this process not been pointed out. My commitment to action will go beyond just being aware that people have disadvantages in society based on things like sex, race, and class. I will actively keep an open mind and show empathy for people's situations. I also will never give a simple acknowledgement response to a student. My commitment to action can start with Angela Lee Duckworth's A Key to Success, Grit. The idea that it isn't talent or luck that makes you successful, but sticking with a process over a long period of time. My dad used to say, you gotta keep on keeping on, and Angela's ideas ring strong with me. I feel that if I can encourage or instill these behaviors in students, then I can actually make a real impact on people's lives. I'm a true believer in classroom environment playing an important role in the teaching experience. In the article, Facing Race Issues in the Classroom, How to Connect with Students, there are guidelines for the Student 6, and these are guidelines to gaining the respect and trust of the students. Confronting the issues of race and culture on a peer level will be a great way to maintain this healthy classroom. I believe my initial frame of mind has drastically changed, and I believe it's changed for the better.